That song's about sex.
It's about sex.
Hi, I'm Cooper.
Hi, I'm Austin.
This is Oh Shit, It's a Podcast, episode 8.
And we've not confirmed or denied whether that song is sexual in nature or
But
not.
twist and grip and ride it on and on and on. My scooter.
At the very least, it's a Hitachi.
Eh. How you doing?
I'm not gonna lie. I've been better.
Yeah.
But we're getting there.
We're getting there, boy.
I'm here to make you feel better, not worse.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good.
Let me just steal your energy for the next 45 minutes.
It's just radiating off of me, and you're like sucking it in, like your eyes are rolled back into your head.
I'm sure that'll sound great.
We have something new this podcast, as like same with last time.
Yeah, things just keep getting better.
Yeah,
and better and better.
If you can't tell, boo. But if you can, Austin got a new microphone.
Don't I sound buttery?
We have the same microphone.
And when Cooper talks, you don't hear the whole room coming in my microphone.
Because I'm a loud motherfucker. What do you got?
I've got, let's see, what do I have? I have 5 days to pull together a website.
Oh.
I have a slightly under average penis size.
Oh.
I have a birth certificate.
Ooh.
I have American citizenship.
Oh. That doesn't mean shit anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck this country. I was sitting in the guard shack with one of the drivers on like the other side of the wall, but like it's like a partition. And I was like watching a show and Ariana Grande shows up and he goes, "Oh, is that bitch Ariana Grande?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, I fucking hate that bitch. She hates her country." And I was like,
I mean,
I just said, "Oh."
There's plenty of valid reasons to dislike her.
Oh, yeah.
That's a weird one.
She hates her country. I mean, I wanted to be like, I mean, I do too.
I'm genuinely curious what it is that he's upset about.
I think she probably is like, just like said some shit about America and he did not vibe with that.
Yeah.
He just,
there's this strange thing that's been going on lately. Call it a trend maybe of, women in the public eye speaking their minds and people getting upset about it.
Yeah. Isn't that nuts?
Isn't that strange?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Oh my God. I hate people. I really do. And like sitting in that shack, I swear to God, was the catalyst for me wanting to go back to school. Because being surrounded by that much fucking stupid all the time, I was like, I miss even just pseudo intellectualism. You know, I wish I just was around
sums
people.
Us up better than pseudo intellectualism.
For real. Even just saying pseudo intellectualism makes us sound so smart,
but
even though my IQ is probably sub 80, you know?
I haven't taken an IQ test since I was an elementary schooler, and they thought that it'd be a good idea to tell us we were special, even though we weren't.
I'm pretty sure I was sitting at like 112 whenever I was a kid.
They told me like 130 or 140.
Wait, what?
But that was like first grade. It means nothing. Like that's a first grader getting a good IQ test result is like, well, he did identify the duck.
I was tested for like advanced classes whenever I was a kid.
Program, it was called SAGE.
We called it Beyond Basics.
So everyone else is basic.
Yes. And they told the kids, "Oh, this is about creativity." And like, you know, beyond basic creativity. And I even as like an 8-year-old, I called bullshit so hard. I was like, listen, you don't need to fucking pander to fucking simple little Cooper. Like, I was tested and I didn't make it. Okay. I missed by 2 points is what they told my mom. And then I forced it out of her and then I cried. Okay. That's what happened. But
dude, you got the lucky road out of it, honestly.
Yeah.
Those special classes, they fuck you up. I was so excited too because they played all the same cards and they were like, "This is because you have such a creative mind and you're so like adventurous and curious and all this stuff." And then they sit you down and they say, "Okay, study this and make flashcards. Study this and make flashcards, and you have to make 200 flashcards by the end of the semester, and that is your entire grade." And I could never do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just my choice of topics. I know I studied Titanic for an entire semester.
Huh.
Or I guess quarter.
Was it just something you were interested in?
Yeah, they just have a bunch of topics you can choose from. And
I would have totally chosen video games. I was obsessed with video games.
Definitely was not one of the topics you could choose
damn it.
from.
Fuck them.
They were curated.
Oh.
Each one had a binder that you had to choose from. And so it was just everything was laid out for you. Talk about the opposite of creativity. Everything was so gridlocked to, okay, you chose this binder for the next quarter of a year, and you have to do this specific assignment in this binder, and then do all the checklists, and then you have to make the written thesis, and you have to do the flashcards.
You have to know everything on this one subject.
And in the end,
like a horse girl, you have to become a horse girl
for Titanic.
That's right.
I wear these leather tassels because it reminds me of how Jack died. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to bitch about, but I was my parents had an agreement with the teacher that I couldn't really do the same things that the rest of the kids could do, and I still have never really fully analyzed that whole scenario. Was it because I was ADHD, or was I really that advanced if I couldn't keep up with the advanced class? I don't know. So she under the table, he only has to do 100 cards. Everyone else has to do 200 cards. And I don't know. Special treatment, weird. And then, but even with those short, lower bars that they would give me, I still wouldn't finish it. Right. I would get 80. I would get 80 done, and I would just run out of things to talk about. And I'm I don't know what to do. And then she would just be you did good enough. And then okay, but next year or next quarter, you have to do 150. And I'm I'll get you 110.
See, it's one of those things where it's they give you a goal, and then you just kind of at the goal. So if they were to give you, okay, you need 300 cards, and then, but we only really count 2/3.
But everyone else, to my knowledge, they did the full 200.
Well, if they knew what the fuck they were doing, which they didn't, because they just handed you a binder about Titanic, they would have known, hey, this one's special.
The point I was getting at was that there was never actually room for creativity.
No.
It was the most boring class I ever did. And it was once a week, you had the special privilege of being pulled from your normal class and brought into this class with all different students. So it felt like this elite class thing of I'm better than everyone else. But it was all of the nerdy, awkward kids that didn't know how to socialize.
Right.
And so it was actually miserable. We had our own separate recess.
What?
I don't know why, but we went to recess at a different time than everyone else because we couldn't be associated with those heathens.
Oh yeah, those fucking idiot boys.
So we just it was just
ruin your smart brain.
10 kids that go out to the playground by themselves.
Huh.
And we would just role play. It was weird.
I master your slave.
I remember getting a catching a grasshopper and having it vomit all over my hands.
Nice.
That was something. Fuck. What is this conversation? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I dig it. Whenever I was in elementary school, my whole thing was, he's super smart. In the second grade, I was reading at a collegiate level.
But were you actually?
I mean, I was reading It and Of Mice and Men.
But those are not difficult to understand.
Well, but I was sitting down just on my own and just chilling, reading Of Mice and Men. I mean, they weren't forcing it on me. It was I had picked it out on my own. Mm-hmm. And I think
you said first grade?
Second grade.
Second grade.
So I was 6. Mm-hmm. And
I never know age
I don't know.
compared to grade, but I think
6, 7,
7 or 8.
Yeah. But I was reading at a collegiate level in the second grade, and that was when they decided to test me, and then realized I was too stupid to be smart. And then after that, all of my like up until high school, and after I graduated high school, all of my teachers and all my professors were like, "You're really smart. Like, I know you're smart. You're just so fucking lazy.
You just don't give a shit.
You just don't give a fuck." And I was like, "No, not really." Like,
dude, this reminds me. I had a sage level social studies class in middle school, and we had a whole study unit on religion. Just like everyone got to choose a random religion and do like a research project on it. And I was so like,
bullshit.
how do I word it? I have always thought that religion is bullshit my whole life. And I was so averse to even trying to learn about it that in this class, I told the teacher, "I feel like you're converting me. So I'm not going to do this unit." And he said, "Okay, that's fine." But in all honesty, I just didn't give a fuck.
They were like, "Listen, you can throw as much of this shit into my brain that you want. It's just going to fall out at the end. Nothing's going to stick."
So call me culturally misguided. I don't know. I couldn't care. I couldn't care.
See, I feel like because growing up, I was Methodist.
Yeah.
Air quotes. Because my dad was Methodist, and we went to a Methodist church sometimes. And because he never wanted to go all the time. Mm-hmm. Even though he says he's very religious, but he's not a church-going boy.
Yeah.
You know. But my whole thing growing up was like, "Oh, I'm Methodist." And then I was like, maybe fuck this. And I just stopped giving a shit. And then my dad was like, "Hey, guess what? You're getting fucking confirmed." And I was like,
"What?
Okay."
I'm sorry, what does that mean?
Confirmed basically is like, "Yes, I accept you, Lord Jesus, man, as my savior in Christ."
Okay. One of those
things. Which did a whole lot of good for me when I fucking converted to Judaism about a year ago. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, like in college, and this is like when I was working for the Methodist Church as the choir director, that whole time my brain was just like,
"This is all bullshit.
This is all bullshit. And I hate this. And these people hate me because I'm a 20 going on 20-year-old looking ass motherfucking fuck trying to tell you how to sing. And you don't know me, but you're old and I'm young and that no good. So I hate you."
Dude, to this day, I'm pretty sure Sky is still like a group leader or something at a church, and he is the least Christian person on this planet.
Whoa.
But it's a paying job, and they needed someone to play guitar.
Yeah,
So
I mean, that's fair.
He spends like half the time playing and half the time just reading Bible verses that he does not believe in a single one of. And he gets paid to do it.
I mean, that's fine.
So to all of you out there, consider who is telling you what they are telling you, because they might not even believe the words coming out of their mouth.
And do you want to know the exact moment I knew I was dipping out of Christianity and I was just done?
Second grade.
No, that was the catalyst for a whole lot of shit in my life. Let me tell you that. But the main crux of where I turned and said, "I can't do this anymore." It was a summer's day. It was the morning. It was a Sunday morning. And I was sitting in the crowd, or not the crowd, the congregation is what they call it, I guess. I don't know. And it was before church. It was the very beginning. And
it was BC.
It was BC, before church. And they had the projectors going, and they were showing like, "Oh, this is a video for this, and this is a video for that." And they were doing like a video about like a trip to Haiti they were doing. And the video started off and it was like sad music and it was black and white and it was all these skinny Haitians looking at the camera like, why are you recording me? And it was like some statistic about how many people die in Haiti every year from malnutrition. And then it was like, we're going to help them. And then it was excited music and a bunch of white people jumping up in the air.
We did it!
And I was just like, what kind of white savior bullshit is this? I'm out. If I could have got up and left without getting stoned out in the parking lot, I fucking would have, because I was so done with that. And I quit my job at that church probably about 3 months after.
Because it's never about giving aid to places in need.
No.
It's about giving Jesus to places in need.
And like, obviously the people that do it treat it as a vacation.
What in the Crusades is this?
Yes, exactly. I fucking hate that shit with all of my body and soul and energy and spirit. I fucking hate it. And oh my God, all of these fucking mega pastors, all these Joel Osteens and dudes who are flying their private jets to different like conventions so they can talk about Jesus
purely by church donations.
Yes. And I don't want to sit in a commercial class seat because that's where demons sit. Yeah. That's a real quote.
Yeah, I remember that interview, and he was like, he was so pissed at her.
He was like,
don't you put words in my mouth.
Don't you ever put words in my mouth. And then he just like pulls back.
But he never answers the question.
No.
It's unfortunate that the most powerful people in the church are the least religious people on the planet.
Absolutely.
It's very depressing.
Anyway.
Damn it, we did this last week.
We really did. Anyway,
guys, we're going to do our best to not sit here and remind you how shit everything is all the time.
It's just a really bad time to be alive. Need to be reminded of it when you're listening to this and trying to not be sad.
It's a really bad time to try to be funny.
Oh, my friend texted me. She said, her name is Jen. She said, dude, I loved your podcast so much. I cannot express y'all have such a fantastic natural podcast energy. And then she said, shit, I never made you those banners. And then she said, I'll make those soon. I'm so sorry. And then she said, well, we won't read that. But she said, we have a good energy. Oh my God, I thought you were my annoying coworker.
What just happened?
Yeah, she never told me that she got a new number. So she texted me, and I was originally she texted me like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't respond.
Oh.
And I thought it was my annoying coworker trying to tell me something.
So you ignored it.
So I ignored it. And then she sent me a picture, and it was like a meme, and I ignored it.
Oh no.
And then she sent me that, and I thought it was him again. And so originally I ignored it. And then I was like, he wouldn't listen to the podcast because he doesn't really give a shit enough. So I opened it up and I was like, oh my God, this is her. And so, Jen, I'm going to keep this part in the podcast. I'm sorry. And moving on. I live hard, I play hard, I eat hard, and I fuck hard! Sigma male grind set! I wake up at 3 a.m. every morning screaming, thinking that I'm the only person left on Earth! Sigma male grind set! I eat 3 boxes of Whitman samplers every day! Every single day! Sigma male grind set! I've gotten 13 people pregnant the past month! I only copulate with consent! Sigma male grind set! My favorite chocolates are the Whitman samplers and the caramels! They melt on my tongue and make me feel happy! Sigma male grind set! I can't wait to go home to my my cat and have him bite my legs until they bleed.
Sigma male grind set!
I spend a lot of my nights at the karaoke bar after work waiting for a girl I saw in there one time to walk in so I can get her number!
Sigma male grind set!
For Christmas this year, I'm sending all 87 of my kids a $5 gift card to the shooting range, and if they are a sharpshooter by 12 years old, I'll cut off their fucking child support!
Sigma male grind set!
I'm lonely, just as God intended! I should call my mom. Does my brother think about me much? Sometimes I think I'm doing too many things. Is there a God? What is my purpose? Damn it.
Sigma male grind set!
I buy hamburger meat wholesale and swim in it like a crazy meat man!
Sigma male grind set!
Yup! That's what the neighborhood kids call me! Crazy meat man! Sometimes they throw rocks at me and tell me to eat the meat because it stinks and it rakes up the whole neighborhood! Well, I don't care!
Sigma male grind set!
If you want to be like me, you're gonna need to buy 8 cheeseburgers from McDonald's every day and shove them down your gullet so fast you choke. Then wash it down with a nice Route 44, Dr. Coke, McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba! Eat fresh, bitch!
Bit of a trigger warning. We're going to talk about mental health and we're going to talk about inpatient therapy.
Yes.
We're going to talk about suicide.
Yes.
Just be forewarned.
Yeah. If you don't want to listen to this, go to
Exactly 40 minutes.
I might just put it in the. I'll probably put it in the description. You know what? Fuck it. I'll put it here. Yeah. Go to.
Fuck you. I said 40 minutes.
And we will just be talking about other stuff that maybe isn't so triggering.
Yeah.
So trigger warning. Oh, that's our first trigger warning.
Yay!
Yay! We're socially conscious.
Anyways,
Anyways.
back to the gore and weird shit.
That's right.
This will be kind of a jumpy episode. But
Yeah.
we have a topic that we wanted to talk about, and it's kind of a weird one.
So Austin and I have a lot of things in common. And one specific thing that we have in common is
Mental health issues.
mental health issues. I'm just going to go ahead and blurt out my diagnosis because I'm fucking psychotic. And to be fair, my diagnosis, one of the symptoms is that, hey, you don't have a filter a lot of the time, so you just say shit. I have bipolar schizophrenia, aka schizoaffective disorder. And it's not like I'm seeing Paul Rudd drag his nutsack across my coffee table. It's more just like seeing stuff out of the corner of my eyes. Sometimes if I'm really, really stimulated, I'll hear my name. And also, yeah, the bipolar part. But
it makes you a really good podcaster.
It does. It really does. But yeah, so we both have varying mental health issues, and we have been hospitalized for said issues.
Both made it into inpatient, baby.
That's right.
Exclusive club.
Wah!
We just air high-fived because
And it
he knows
didn't.
that I don't high-five.
That's right. It makes me
That's
so
another
sad.
story.
But yeah, so we both have made it into inpatient, and we got some stories for you guys. Do you want to go first, or?
I mean, yeah, I guess, because it sounds like you've got some intense ones. So I was in inpatient a few years back after a real bad breakup, and quickly realized that the people that I was housed with were much more far gone than I was.
That's the, that's the exact same with me every single time.
And I'm like, man, talk about imposter syndrome. Like, I don't belong here.
Right.
There was a particular man who, whatever, I still have never learned why, if he just felt like he always was not moisturized enough. He needed lotion at all times. So he would take like Vaseline or any kind of lotion he can get his hands on, and he would cover himself face to toe with just like globbing white paste all over his body.
Nice.
And then there would be white footprints to his room all the time.
You know, at least you can't lose him.
Yeah, you can't lose him.
Yeah.
He's very trackable. And there was one day that he didn't have any lotion, so he used honey, and he covered himself in honey.
Man, can you imagine if someone let loose like a bear in the hospital? And just that bear found that way to that man.
That boy.
Oh man. That'd be one healthy snack. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Not like, God damn it. Well, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that is textbook definition.
That is textbook definition insane.
Yes.
I don't even, should I go for my first time or my second time?
Yeah, you've got more stories than I do.
I do. So I'm just gonna go with my second time because I had a lot of really funny little things for my second time. So my second time, I walked in, and usually when you enter the psych ward, you are a little shy because you don't know how everybody is.
Obviously, it's like you've never been in this
varying
environment
levels
before.
of mental health decline.
Mm-hmm. And you all get put in the same groups together.
That's right. So I walked in and I didn't know Jack from Jill, and I was just kind of sitting there, and they were just trying to check me in, and this giant mammoth of a man walks up to me, and he's probably like 22, but he's a big boy. He looks like if Post Malone blew up like a balloon and then, wrestled 30 bears in Russia.
Well, Post Malone already looks like that.
Exactly. Well, yeah. But just picture that.
But
and
like
this
big
is him.
and muscular and can stand up to it.
But he walks up and he starts talking to me. And you know what? He seems friendly. And so I'm talking to him, and he's really cool. And I go to my clothes that they're like looking through and everything, because you can't have like
they won't let you have elastic of any kind.
That's right, or like a drawstring because you can hang yourself. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they have to take some of my drawstrings out of my pants that I brought because I didn't think. I had just tried to kill myself, so I didn't exactly pack
my choice of attire.
That's right.
No.
But they had to cut out all the drawstrings, and so I didn't really have pants that fit me. So what ended up happening was I was just having to like hold my pants up all the time. And I'm at dinner that night wearing these clothes, and I have to like keep like holding my pants up so they don't fall down and I don't expose my bare ass to everybody. And this guy walks up, and he doesn't walk up. He's sitting at the table with me, and I just complain like, "Oh my God, I have to keep pulling my pants up because they won't let me have my drawstring." And he's like, "Oh, you don't have pants that fit?" And he was like, "What size are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm this size." And like the pants were already a little big enough. So he's like, "Oh, okay, I got some pants for you." And he walks back into his room, and he comes back out, and all he's done is taken off his pants, and he's wearing his boxers. And he just hands me the pants that he was wearing.
Why did he go to his room then?
I don't know.
He could have just done that there.
But he was walking around in his boxers for like 3, maybe 4 days.
I can't believe you accepted it, honestly. I would have been like, dude, you're not wearing pants.
What do you say to a gargantuan man in a psychiatric hospital who just handed you his pants to wear that he just took off his body? What do you say to that? You say, yes.
You're right.
So, that was that. But also, while I was beginning my week-long stay at the hospital, there was a guy named Kelly. And Kelly is like what you would imagine a bipolar schizophrenic would be.
The stereotypical thing.
Yes, where he is like talking to himself and like coming up with crazy stuff. And, I didn't know that whenever he originally started talking to me. So he walks up to me and he's just like, hey man, well, how you doing? My name's Kelly. I'm like, I'm going to teach all these kids gonna teach all these kids because I'm like the bus driver, and like they learn from me, and like I teach them like real life stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, man, yeah, I mean, teach those kids, hell yeah,
Rise
and he's just
above.
like, yeah, man, yeah. I'm gonna teach them kids, and they're gonna be living right, they're gonna get off them streets, and I'm like, yeah, Kelly, hell yeah, Kelly, and then I realized.
He's not a bus driver.
No. I realized that when I was reading a book in my room about 2 days later, and I hear a commotion, and it's Kelly screaming, "Get off me! I'm not Kelly! I'm not Kelly! I'm Jason! I'm Jason! Don't talk to me! Don't look at me!" And they had to sedate him.
Yep.
And so I walked out, and he's just like sitting in a chair, just like dead, staring at the wall, like 1,000-yard stare. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, that was like, like there's always like 1 or 2 moments when you're in the psych ward that's like, oh shit, this is like real. The
main thing I took away from Inpatient was that, to be quite honest, the actual therapy was jack shit.
Yes.
However, the most therapeutic part of that whole process was learning how bad things could be.
Exactly.
And it's grounding for you to see, like, okay, I know I'm better than this. Mm-hmm. So what else am I okay? Like, where else am I okay? Where else can I, like, grasp on to reality?
Right.
And maybe they're doing it on purpose. Maybe that's part of, like, the exposure therapy or something. Mm-hmm. Of just like treating you like shit and treating you like it's a game, and like the only way to make it out of this miserable place is to pretend like everything's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's good or not. Personally, I think it's kind of a bad tactic. I didn't leave that place with very good thoughts about that place.
No,
but it worked.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it forces you into another reality where you kind of have to fight to survive in a sense,
and it's kind of ironic how they take people who are like in a bad enough headspace to want to die,
to improvise, adapt, and overcome,
and make them feel worse than they did before.
That's right.
It's very dangerous.
It's the American healthcare system.
Yeah. So another story I had was I was at the end of my session. I was on day 9. And I finally got the okay that I was going home. And my parents were called, and they were ready to pick me up, and they came that morning. It was like maybe 10 a.m. And I was getting my stuff together. It was literally like, in 5 minutes, I am out of this building. I'm so excited.
Right.
And then at the exact same time, a woman is upset that she isn't getting her cigarette break. And she's not that large. Like she was frail.
Yeah.
She ripped the door off the hinges.
What?
to get to the courtyard so she could smoke her cigarette.
She's like Godzilla strength, just like. Ugh. How did? So what kind of door was this though?
It was like an aluminum door, like with glass panes, and she ripped it off the hinges.
Okay, that door had to have been like super weak.
Yeah, like I'm sure it's been fucked with before.
But she ripped the door off the hinges, and Skater Boy style.
She was like, obviously, like all the nurses were rushing and screaming, like, no, you can't go outside. And she was screaming and like fighting and throwing punches, and they had to sedate her. And there was this big like security thing that they told all of us to go to our rooms and don't leave until you get the okay.
Should have gave her a cigarette break.
I was almost out of here, dude.
And then little young lady ripped the door off the hinges because she didn't get her cigarette break. They had to
lock the hallway doors for 45 minutes. And so I'm just like sitting here with all my stuff packed, and I'm like, let me the fuck out of here.
Go home. It's like the last day of camp, and you just want to go see your dog. Like,
there was a guy there that people lovingly called Samurai. He was not Japanese or anything. But he was in the hospital because he got really drunk and depressed one night and decided to kill himself. And the way that he did it was by stabbing himself in the chest with a sword.
What the fuck? A samurai sword?
A katana.
That's so... this is so bad. That's so fucking metal, dude. Like, holy shit.
He committed seppuku.
Oh my God. Samurai.
And he says he was so drunk he didn't even feel it.
Nice.
So that, yeah, I mean, he obviously didn't like do fatal injury to himself. He didn't like it full. Yeah, but he did enough to go to the ICU and
You're right.
end up there. So that was a whole thing. He was actually a super sweet guy, and he like it was so strange talking to him in group therapy because he was like it was almost like talking to your dad, and when your dad is kind of like in a chipper mood and just like talking about his day, and I'm like, why are you here? You don't. Like, I can't even imagine you teary-eyed and you're sitting here telling us you stabbed yourself in the chest with a sword.
I was kind of that character whenever I was in inpatient. I was the one who was always trying to help. Because like you said, you have to play the part. Mm-hmm. I'm always trying to help people. If there's an older woman and she's having a hard time getting up and down whenever she's taking her tray, I take her tray for her. I say like, hey, you're okay. I'll take your tray for you. And I open the door for people and I hold the door for people, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like I was probably the person that was like, why the fuck is this guy in here? And I'd have to be like, oh, I the night that I tried to kill myself on this comedy podcast that we have, I was playing Half-Life Alyx, which was a VR game. And I got literally like to like 3/4 of the way through the game. And I just kind of turned into that I think you should leave sketch where he's in the suit and he's like, I don't want to be here anymore. And it's like, you mean like at all? It's like, yeah. I don't like, you don't want to be alive?
The only thing I can think of right now is that like what an astounding review of a game.
Yeah.
To say that Half-Life Alyx made you want to die to the point that you tried.
The thing is, it was a really good game. It was an amazing game. And I was just like, I think it might have just been like all of the lights flashing in my eyes and just like overstimulating me.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I don't want to be alive anymore. And I think I'll probably just kill myself. So I beat the game and I was like, all right, guess that's the last video game I'll ever play. And I just kind of like looked around my room and I had all my stuffed animals with me because I collect stuffed animals. And I just like ate my medicine. And that was what happened. But it was just like they were just like, this guy doesn't really deserve to be in here because he's like the most sane person I've ever seen be in the psych ward. So, yeah. That's fun.
My morning was after a few weeks of basically sitting like locking myself in my room, laying in bed and not talking to anyone. And I had reluctantly agreed to help my brother and his wife to move their grill off of their back deck. Like they have a second floor deck and they needed help carrying it down the stairs. Mm-hmm. So I agreed that I would help them move the grill. And then the next day woke up in the morning and went, I don't want to live.
I don't want to be around anymore.
Dry swallowed all of those pills.
Oh, you dry swallowed? I at least had like a LaCroix with me. I went out, pinky out, fancy as shit.
Treat yourself.
That's right. That's right.
No, I dry swallowed those. They were the XL horse pills.
Oh, fuck.
And sat there for about an hour and a half, and I was like, I guess it didn't work. And just like annoyingly got out of bed and drove to my brother's house to move the grill and did it, exerted myself, got it down the stairs. It was really heavy. Went inside like really out of breath and went to get a drink because I was like exhausted. And then I realized why I felt exhausted. Oh. And I was sitting there like cold sweating and like phasing out of consciousness and like trying to drink my water. And of all the people who is sitting at the table next to me while everyone else is outside is my current fiance's ex-boyfriend. Yay! And I just sit there and I say, I OD'd this morning. And he went, what? And I went, I took all my pills this morning. And he went, hey, I'm going to be right back. And the rest is history. Thanks for the girlfriend.
Thanks for the girlfriend and the fiance. Yeah.
You kept me alive so I could steal her away.
That's right.
That's not how it went, but it's ironic how that happened.
Ace and I were just talking, and I was just, I want to say thank you to everybody. We'll probably put this at the end of the episode. Thank you to everybody who listens and lets us know that, you know, what you think about the podcast and how much you appreciate it.
The confirmation from just hearing that this weird thing that we're doing matters in any way at all is really like warming to the heart.
Yes.
In a time that we could really use it.
I've had multiple people tell me that whenever they are having a bad day and then they go and they listen to our podcast, it helps them cheer up. That makes everything that we're doing seem worth it. And it also kind of like helped me confirm, because I have imposter syndrome real fucking bad.
Me too.
I can't take credit for anything that I do ever. Because I always feel like, oh, it's all this, or oh, it's all that, or oh, it's really not that good. But this is one thing that I am extremely proud of, is this podcast.
And you should be.
With how stupid it is.
It's like, so hard to like, it's such an unapproachable podcast in one regard, because you need to show it to the right person.
Right.
but once you show it to them, like, it resonates with the right people.
Yes. And, you know, it's content that isn't going to obviously be for everybody, but if it's for the right people.
Won't be for TV.
No. Well, you never. Hey, listen, Tim and Eric had their own television show on Adult Swim, and it became insanely popular with a cult following.
That's true.
But
to even compare this
to Tim and Eric.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, it helped me kind of realize, like, this is something that we're doing that isn't bad, and it's good. And
ridiculous as it is, it's important in its own way.
Yeah. And I was just telling Austin, I had to say it. I feel like we're sitting on a gold mine. And I don't want to sound like Conor McGregor being like, oh, I'm the best in the world. Oh, I'm going to go jerk off on the Mona Lisa.
Or like me telling my parents when I was in a band in high school, like, we're different. We're going to make it.
Okay, but you guys did have really good music, though.
No, we did not. Especially back then. We should not have been as proud as we were.
I don't know about all that, but I really liked some of your stuff. But I feel like what we're doing is important. And given the right platform and the amount of people listening,
we could flourish.
And we could actually make something of this and maybe make some money, or I don't know, do this full time eventually, like my brother and me and Headgum podcast and all of those other podcasts. I know that's like a total pipe dream, but like, I feel like it's possible. And I feel like even though we're so early with everything, it's a definite possibility. And
we just need Daddy to give us $1 million.
Daddy, give me money, please.
And then we'll be set.
Yeah.
Just a comfy cushion of a small loan of $1 million.
That's right. And then we'll be out of your hair for good, Daddy. Please.
Shit.
But yeah, I just wanted to say
thank you.
Thank you for listening. It really means more than you think whenever you reach out and say anything positive about the podcast, because it just fuck your negative shit, first of all.
No, honestly, I know you're joking, but please, like, negative comments are great feedback.
It's feedback. But, you know, let us know. Message us on our social media, our Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram, all of that. Let us know. Do what?
OnlyFans. A podcast OnlyFans.
That's
That's what we need.
I was going to recommend and this isn't like talked about before. I was going to recommend that we make an OnlyFans and not a
fucking do
Patreon.
it.
Let's fucking make an only because like there's like rappers on there and
Yeah,
shit.
there's nothing wrong with it.
Let's fucking make
I think it's more on brand.
Yes. Oh my god. If we made an OnlyFans, I would fucking die.
I would nut.
Do you want me to make an OnlyFans?
Yeah, and anytime we get donations, we'll just put them over to another person on the platform.
So we're gonna make an OnlyFans. Subscribe to our OnlyFans. You'll be able to find it on our Twitter because I don't know the name of it right now because we literally just came up with that idea. Subscribe to our OnlyFans because that's fucking funny, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we'll have updates on that soon.
Yeah,
that'll be on the horizons.
But yeah,
we do have to also figure out how much nipple is going to be on the OnlyFans.
oh man, I might go full butthole.
He might go full butt.
I might go full butthole for like $20 per person.
That's not enough
Listen,
to dox your butthole as a
Listen.
public figure.
per person, $20. If we get 4 people, that's $100. Okay, if 4 people look at my butthole, and
So you're saying our business model is reliant on 4 people, at least 4 people wanting to see your butthole.
4 people, you know who you are. Okay, I'm talking to you right now.
We'll talk later.
If there are 4 people in a room listening to this right now, you all have to buy my butthole.
Let's be honest. Every person that's listened so far have heard your voice and gone, "Oh my! I bet he's got an impeccable butthole."
You know, there's been a few people. I put that I'm the co-host of a podcast on my dating website stuff.
Oh, yeah?
To, you know, kind of bring people in, flirt a little bit, and
It's called a marketing strategy.
It is. But I put that in there, and they're like, I was listening to the podcast, and your voice is like so sexy. I'm like, first of all, I have a lisp, so I sound like.
It's second of all, you sound like a psychopath.
That's right. I sound like a psychopath idiot that's like on Ritalin, just fucking spitting like Eminem into a microphone.
Yeah, but imagine that sexual energy.
That's right. I'm so sexually energetic in bed. No, I'm not. I'm usually like, okay, missionary. Okay, doggy. Okay, maybe hit it from the side. Okay, now get on top, and then I'll nut.
stories of you pushing shit back into someone's ass with your fingers.
Okay,
So, listen.
Okay, I guess we have to tell that story.
You don't have to.
Oh no, it's okay. I'll tell the story. So, okay.
This is also with the way this format, like this whole bit was structured, like this is the outro, and this is your story for the outro of the
You know
podcast.
what? Fuck it. Outro.
This is your reward for listening to all of the other stuff that we said.
It is. It's worth it. So I was dating a lady my freshman year of college.
We'll call her Blowy.
Story behind that. This person wrote an article for the school newspaper. 75% of guys on Tinder suck, and use pseudonyms for different people. So like Harry was Thomas and Cooper was Blooper. So
Who's Blooper?
she's blowy. Fuck it. Anyway, we were going at it, and you know, I'm a generous lover boy. So I'm eating her out, and I'm going to town on that puss. Mm-hmm. And she liked a little bit of anal, so I put my finger in there, and I was doing my thing, and I pull my finger out a little bit, and a little bit of wet diarrhea poo comes out, and I think to myself,
Wet diarrhea poo.
I can save this.
Such an idiotic thought.
I could salvage this if I just push it back in. And I pushed it back in, and then I thought to myself, God damn it, I'll have to pull my finger back out, and she'll poop some more. And then I pulled my finger out a little bit more, and guess what she did? She pooped some more. And so I had to stop and be like, hey, babe, you're pooping on me, like all over me right now. And she goes, oh, okay. And then I get up and I wash off, and she never apologized. And then I broke up with her 2 weeks later. Whew. Thanks, Blowy.
Thanks, Blowy.
Anyway,
Does that feel good to have, like, you know,
I'm just mad about it now.
but at least have some vindication?
Because, like, basically now, all that we have recorded for our podcast is our intro and our outro. So now we have to go and record the entire middle part And plus the skit that I had planned, Sigma Male Grind Set, they'll know what that is because
that was already done.
It's already been done.
I hope it was good.
I really hope it was good. I had the idea for it yesterday at work whenever I was checking a guy's trailer, and I literally just heard a voice in my head go, Sigma Male Grind Set! And I was like, whoa. What? And I was like, I'll play hard, I'll work hard, I eat hard, and I fuck hard. Sigma Male Grind Set! And I just thought to myself, that's a bit. And I just wrote it down real quick on my phone. So I hope
how
you
the
guys
best bits are done.
In the moment.
Impulse.
So I hope you guys liked it. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
That we're recording the outro.
We are recording the outro right now. So now I'm all worked up and we have to go and record the entire middle part. And that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And also,
sorry, what?
This is the first podcast episode that I'm editing together.
Yeah, good luck.
So this is going to be great. This will be good experience.
If anything, like throwing you into the deep water is the easiest way to learn how to swim.
It really is, because then you get good at what you're doing. But yeah, so thank you guys for listening so much. We love you so much. Interact with our social media any way you can. Share this podcast with whoever you think will enjoy it.
At OseaCast on Twitter. At what is the Instagram?
I think the Instagram's at OseaCast too.
Okay.
TikTok is at OseaCast. Facebook is at OseaCast too.
It's at Oh Shit It's a Podcast.
Yeah.
That's the at.
Yeah.
But it's also called Osea Podcast. It's so complicated, dude.
It really is. Listen, we got a whole bunch of names. We're just trying to cobble everything together. We're just a couple of boys in a dank basement making some funny sounds into microphones.
And this is the weirdest outro we've ever had.
It really is. Besides me showing you my cock and balls.
Yeah, somehow that wasn't as weird.
Yeah. So, that was a good one, though. But I just want to say thank you, and we love you guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye forever.
Goodbye.